We know in the current situation, the last 2, 3 months, one pandemic named Corona, it shook the entire basis of a lot of business model, a lot of mindset, and a lot of, I would say the foundation of confidence level of many people. Right. Now, what would you suggest? How should we actually be looking at, be it from the organization perspective as well as from individual perspective? How should they look at their future, be it in terms of business, career, their life, their future? How should they be looking at things, and what kind of enhancements do they have to practice to face the current situation, be confident, and be happy, rather be glad and be positive and move forward in the life.
It's a very powerful question, and it has got multiple parts. So let me lay a foundation to this response. And the foundation comes from the previous question that we have addressed. I think the current corona situation shows us one of the biggest tragedies coming out of the human belief system of the last few hundred years, which is based on this objective reality and this belief that life is a deficit trip, and therefore we need to be competitive and be absolutely cutthroat competitive with each other. So if you look at the three elements that we talked about in terms of time, quantity, and quality, quality always talks about being better than the other. And when this manifests into social phenomena, into political phenomena, into socio-political phenomena, and then into ideological phenomena, the manifestation of this better than you is the superpower syndrome. So what you see now, post the Industrial Revolution, and then what I call as the insurgency invasion revolution, and then the information technology revolution, to now the intelligence revolution. So in the intelligence revolution, being, kind of this whole idea of becoming a power and a superpower, being hooked onto that intelligence or whatever it is, has taken the world into what I call as an unimaginable level of intensity of wanting to score over the other, in some way or whatever. Now, this is the suffering of the objective reality. You just can't escape that. Because your belief is life is competitive, that you have things in shortage, you got to have more and more and more. Nobody pauses and says, do I really need? So if there are countries, you got to conquer more. If you're, kind of business, then you've got to, capture the market more, and so on and so on. Why I'm talking about that? So when this intensity goes into this kind of a level, in this objective reality, the whole world and human beings are objectified, which means human beings become utilities. They are numbers. They are not humans anymore. The same challenge can come into organization. If you lose the perspective and not really understand that it is very much important for you to hold the simultaneity of objective and subjective reality together, you can completely land up convert resources. You may call them whatever fancy labels, but nothing more than utilities. So for example, what you see about the migrant labor problem, the contract labor problem, is exactly one of the beautiful indicators of utilities. They were required comfortably at a point of time. They were left there unattended the moment that was, kind of under challenge. So it's a kind of plug and play. All right. So if that is so, is there something for us to learn? I think, first of all, living philosophy-wise, the world has got to learn. And I would say, therefore, embracing of the subjective reality, which is the human reality, the sensitivity, into its whole scientific, objective, materialistic reality, and actually striking what I call balance, but an integration of these two is very much required. Number one, at a socio-political level, because just, it's crazy. We say that we are a very, man is working towards conquering nature and all kinds of statements we make, which means we are at terrific states of development and all that. And in this history of the last 100 years, forget it, 50 years, forget it, last 30 years, what is 3 months in 30 years? 13 to 12, 360 months. 3 months out of that is less than 1%. You mean this world cannot take a shock of 1% or less than 1% of its time in a 30-year kind of a span? That means something is terribly fragile and wrong with the world. If that be so, I'm saying it's time for us to re-examine the beliefs. And I believe that just like the famous 5S system of the Japanese, I talk about a new 5S system, which is required for all of us, as leaders, as managers, as individuals. And this is an interesting 5S that I talk about. Can we have more of these five is the question. The first one is greater sensitivity as human beings, fundamentally. And you will have sensitivity in a very simple way when you see yourself in the other person. You call it empathy, whatever. But very simply, when I can see myself in you, I'm more sensitive. Because I would grant you whatever I'm granting to myself. So the first one is greater sensitivity. The second one is what I call as social accountability. Forget personal accountability. You know, this Eastern philosophy says, Aham Brahmasmi. I'm saying Aham society. Recognize that you are society. There is no society outside you. So whatever little thing, whether it is social distancing, whether it's taking care of your street, whether it is you taking care of the dustbin outside, whether it is taking care of whether the opposite side person is following the rules or not, and then calling him and drawing his attention, social accountability has to become so much more. We are partners in guiding, managing, and facilitating this society. So second one is social accountability. The third one is share and care more, and if required, sacrifice more. I think this ability to offer and to become an offerer rather than a taker is very much important. I think we had enough of getting and forgetting. I think we need to have giving and forgiving a lot more. Okay. I think sharing, caring, and sacrificing as an element. Sacrificing comes in when you're willing to give something valued by you for something lesser that you're getting. That mindset, that large-heartedness need to come in from the deficit mentality. Most important, simplicity. Sada Jivan Ucha Vichar. More of less. You know, there's a beautiful quotation from Og Mandino, the motivational writer. He says, your poverty is not determined by what you do not have. I'm repeating that. Your poverty is not determined by what you do not have, but your richness is determined by what you can live without. Amazing statement. Amazing statement. Simplicity. And finally, all this is based on one single factor, self-awareness as against identity awareness. Self-awareness as against role awareness. Self-awareness as against ego awareness. I think this is very, very fundamental. These 5 S are very important. Sensitivity, social accountability, share, care, and sacrifice attitude, simplicity, and self-awareness. I think these are very important things that we need to add on a lot more to ourselves. Be as leaders, be as individuals, be as social systems to make life better.